yesterday when I started on my writing project, I sat down. I was a bit distracted by other things. I did a couple of hours in the end. That's important maybe to say at the start, because sometimes we can be really distracted, can't we? We can distract ourselves. And my intention was to bring some thoughts together, get a better idea of what the book would be about. Obviously I know the majority, but if there's any other themes I can bring out. And that was really good, because I sat and looked at each country and thought, right, what was that trip about? So within that decade, or those 40 countries in my 40s, there's obviously 40 countries, but all very different countries, all very different ways of getting there. So that was really important for me, I think, when I set off on this challenge. Perhaps. I haven't noted that anywhere, I don't think. But I think it was about difference, and going to some countries that I hadn't dreamed of. Well, I dreamed of going to them, but didn't dream it's possible, maybe. And I've also gone to places differently. So some with people, predominantly alone. A lot of those 40 are mostly alone. And I think 3 countries will cover with people. As in, I chose to go with them. Others will have been part of a group. And that's okay. There were different things. So I looked at that. I looked at what sort of structure I could have, and how to lay it out, and how to present it, which is really important. And I'm also looking at a poem I wanted to include, and I don't know whether to structure it around the poem, break the poem up into bits. So I wrote the poem out. That probably distracted me. It's my favourite poem ever. It's not necessarily a travel one, although it is. So that's important too, because this is a travel book, but it's also something else. And that's why I like the poem, because it's about taking different paths, but it's also essentially many things. So that's what I did yesterday. Didn't do as much as I would have liked, I don't think. There are 16 countries I need to write more about, because some I've got a little bits about, but not necessarily about the travels, and I need to decide, do I want to write more about the travels, as in the country and what I did, or what came out of them. And some of it would be a huge pity, wouldn't it, if I do some of them. I won't mention which without, all of them really, all of them, their essence. It's important, isn't it, to capture it, so that's where I stand on that one. But did some bits. Creativity didn't necessarily come and find me, but I worked through and pushed through it and found something to work on, giving myself that focus. And that sometimes comes from that intention, isn't it? If you're intended to work and your intention is to sit there and progress, you'll do something. That's why I like to write pen, paper first and then type up, because even if I'm not doing anything else, I'm progressing by typing up those notes. So yeah, progression. And a bit more progression in line with what I want to do, I think, not just progression. So hopefully you're progressing too. And whatever you're progressing on, you can find a way to go there, can't you, I think.